Hello everyone, I'm Sharpeter43 once again bringing you all week 4 of the IBL D-League. My opponent for this week is going to be Bright Lovely Manbird and the Fort Wayne Gastrodons. This guy's team is pretty dang scary, just like about everybody else's, and I don't know how to deal with it because, or at least I don't think I know how to deal with it, just because, I mean, look at his team. He has Zeraora, has Mew, has Excadrill, Charizard X, Gigalith, and Rotomosh, yeah. So Excadrill and Gigalith clearly scream Sandcore, and that's actually scary because not a whole lot of my team can take that kind of power very well, as you can see. And Charizard X, you know Charizard X, one Dragon Dance, and that's the whole game. It's all it takes. And Zeraora is just straight up faster than everything on my team, so I honestly don't know how am I supposed to respond to that. And then there's Mew, which is something that's kind of there just to sponge hits, if anything, and not a whole lot of my team can just simply take it out. And remember that Mews can be so annoying because they have that damn recovery. And Rotom can just Will-O-Wisp a lot of my physical attackers, by the way, because a lot of my, oh no, not really, just Muck and Gallade and Dragonite are pretty much crippled by Will-O-Wisp, but the other half doesn't really care about it. And it's pretty much up to me to actually keep Rotom from just Will-O-Wisp being my important mons such as Muck and Dragonite and Mega Gallade. But yeah, and Gigalith can be pretty dang bulky and not very easy to take out as well, and can get the Sandstorm up repeatedly, and that's going to be super annoying, especially with that dang Excadrill, you know, just running around taking out a lot of my damn mons with Earthquake. So it's crazy, honestly. Like, when I first saw this battle, I was thinking, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna win this. And honestly, I mean, can you really blame me? Because a lot of this stuff just goes down to Earthquake if it gets crippled by anything. Like, if I take over 25% of damage on any of these mons, I think I just pretty much lose everything on my team just to the Excadrill. Maybe not the Seismitoad, but I mean, Seismitoad alone is not gonna handle the entirety of this guy's team. But anyway, all that shit aside, let's get into the battle. So this is going to be your boy Buttermink, and he's going to lead off with Zeraora. I think I led with Nidoking because I was thinking if he leads with that, I can get my Toxic Spikes up. He wouldn't want to stay in, which is exactly what he does. He ends up switching out, and he ends up going into the Rotomosh. And here I think I try to go for, I switch out actually after getting the first layer of Toxic Spikes. Reason being is because I go into Seismitoad and I actually try to get my rocks up here. I wasn't thinking of the time. I was thinking that he could try to go for either Hydro Pump or maybe even Will-O-Wisp predicting a switch, but he actually ends up going for the Will-O-Wisp. So yeah, but that was fine with me because my Seismitoad is actually not carrying any physical attacks that are gonna matter. So I decided to take advantage of getting my rocks up right here, and then it's right here where he decides to reveal the Defog right away because he doesn't want Toxic Spikes on the field because he knows it's gonna be very crucial to keep those hazards out of the field. But because I saw the fog after going for these rocks, I decided to switch straight into Galvantula to see if he actually wants to try to go for another defog just to keep the hazards away. And with that, I think I try to go for, I think, Volt Switch. Yeah, yeah, it's Volt Switch. You're gonna see why. And this is actually a very interesting turn here. So I go into Galvantula. He goes for the Will-O-Wisp, predicting me to switch yet again. And instead of going for Defog, which would have been, I think, a more ideal case for him, because he would have kept the rocks away. But check this out. I go for Volt Switch despite knowing that he has a Zeraora and an Excadrill, because I was hoping he would switch into anything that it wasn't these two mons. And he ends up going into the mon that I actually was hoping he'd go into, but kind of didn't expect him to go into. Only reason I can think of him going into Charizard on a Galvantula was probably him hoping that I'd go for Bug Buzz or even Giga Drain just to do some damage to the Rotom. But alas, I actually just went for the Volt Switch, and damn, after taking those rocks, it just goes down. And that was actually one huge threat out of the way, which really helped me in the long run, because honestly, I didn't want to deal with Charizard X, honestly. Not with this team, honestly. Because this team just dies to Charizard X if it managed to set up a Dragon Dance. But yeah, so here, because I sent out Seismitoad, he actually got the switch advantage because of the Volt Switch, and went into Zeraora, which, you know, pretty much screamed Grass Knot, which is what he goes for right here. And I switch into Muck as a result. And then here, I believe I get one of the freest of knockoffs right here, because he's not going to want to stay in with the Zeraora, because not even Plasma Fist will take this thing out. I mean, I think a Z-move would have, because I think this was a Z user, by the way. But, I mean, I wasn't sure if he'd want to use it right now, honestly. Especially when I have Seismitoad in the way. But anyways, so here he goes in the Rotom, and I think I just went for knockoff, and then I just switched out into Galvantula. Just to see what he wants to go for. Maybe he wants to go for the Defog now, but he actually ends up going for the Will-O-Wisp, interestingly enough, because you would think that after losing the Charizard X, he would actually want to get rid of these dang rocks, but no, not yet. He ends up switching out right here and goes into the Excadrill, which is pretty much gonna take this Giga Drain like nobody's business. I was actually astonished how well it took the Giga Drain. It kind of made me wonder if this was a bulky set or something, but I don't know. Here, I think I decided to switch out, obviously. I think I went into the Seismitoad, yeah. Okay, this was risky, and I think the reason why I went into the Seismitoad was because I wanted to see if he'd go for Rapid Spin, because, again, the rocks, he needs to get rid of the rocks if he wants to not have his entire team get crippled by rocks. But he actually ends up going for Rock Slide instead. And here, I think here's where I decided to go for a Icy Wind. And he goes in the Rotom Wash right here, who's going to take more rocks, and I get the Icy Wind off. It's going to be slower than Seismitoad now because of the -1 speed that it gets from Icy Wind. And then here's where I decided to finish it off with a Sludge Wave, because Sludge Wave does have 95 base power that even though it's not stab, I think it should do enough to take out this Rotom from where it's at, or so I thought, because honestly, as you can see, it actually survives. And it didn't even look like it was close to taking it out either, honestly, which is kind of crazy, honestly. I know this thing isn't invested in any special attack, but I honestly thought it would have been able to at least take it out. It's not like it was resisted or anything, but I don't know. Either way, he got the Defog off, and then here, I just speed up the video a little bit here because honestly, this part of the battle is just kind of a waste of time. I wouldn't say this is annoying, it's just kind of a waste of time. It's because what happens here is that I end up going for Stealth Rocks a couple of turns here, or a few turns or something. Because I was thinking, is he going to want to keep defogging over and over again? And I think it came to a point where I was just like, yeah, I think he's just going to want to keep doing that until, you know, he runs, or actually, no, he's just going to keep doing that until the rocks are completely out of the field. And I think Defog has more PP than Stealth Rock, so I think he was content with just PP stalling or something. And I personally was not all for PP stalling, so I just lost the stubbornness and decided to switch out. I think this was the final Stealth Rocks that I went for right here, and he goes for Defog once again, and this is where I was like, you know what, I think this guy's just gonna keep defogging, so hopefully I don't freaking like commit a mistake by switching out right here and him end up going for a actual attack and doing damage, or even taking out something out of my team, because here is where I'm gonna actually switch back into Galvantula, because Galvantula can do a lot of damage to this thing and probably get HP back with Giga Drain if it manages to hit the Giga Drain on the Rotom. So as you can see, he does go for another Defog right here. And here I think, okay, this was where I make a misplay, because I mean, he has two mons that are immune to electrical moves, and what I decided to go for right here is Volt Switch. I think this was to try to get some switch initiative, but I think I wasn't thinking of Zeraora or Excadrill at the time. I didn't think they'd be switch-ins, even though Excadrill took the hit very, very well from Galvantula. The fact that it was Life Orb, I didn't think that would come in, but again, the Zeraora was still there. I don't know, I wasn't thinking of these mons when I was thinking of going for Volt Switch, honestly. And I was hoping that maybe I could get some initiative, but no, that wasn't the case. Here, I switched into Muck, and I think here he doubled on me and went into Excadrill, I guess, predicting my Muck. I nonetheless switched into Dragonite. I was actually hoping he wouldn't go for Rock Slide here, because I already knew that he had Rock Slide from him trying to go for it on my Galvantula earlier. And thankfully he does go for Earthquake, so this gives me a chance to either... I think I just went straight for an Earthquake because I didn't want him to just simply go for Rock Slide, flinch me, and then me not be able to do anything. I didn't want to set up a Dragon Dance or anything like that. So here I go for Earthquake, but he switches into Mew right here, and as you can see, this Mew eats the Earthquake like it's nobody's business. It's crazy. And I think here's where I decided to switch out, because I don't want to lose the multi-skill on my Dragonite just yet, especially since he hasn't gotten Rocks up. So here I decided to switch into Muck, and he's going to go for the U-turn, predicting my switch into Muck again, which is really, really annoying, because now once again he has the advantage, and he's going to go back into Excadrill. Now this puts me once again in another 50-50, where I have to see if he's going to want to go for Earthquake, or is he going to predict me now and go for a Rock Slide. So I risk it for the biscuit here and just go back into Dragonite, and he goes for Earthquake again, thankfully, because otherwise I think I would have lost his Dragonite after one Rock Slide, actually. I think, because remember that the Excadrill is Life Orb, so. But he's going to switch into Gigalith right here, as I think I went for Dragon Dance here, actually. Because I needed I just felt like I needed to start setting up or something, so that this guy doesn't just think that he can just keep switching around. But unfortunately, because he already came in with this Gigalith and got the Sandstorm up, I think even after +1, the Excadrill can still outspeed my Dragonite. So here I just decided to go for Earthquake just to get damage on this thing before this Gigalith takes me out with a Stone Edge or Rock Slide. However, thankfully, he doesn't end up having Rock Slide or Stone Edge, or I guess if he does have him, he probably chose not to go for it and instead went for Rock Tomb. This only lowers my speed, but I'm still faster than this Gigalith, and I decided to just go for the Dragonium Z here just in case he tries to switch into Mew, which will outspeed my Dragonite if it's invested in speed whatsoever. But here I decided to just go for, or he decided to go for Protect. I was going to say I went for Protect. No. Does this look like the move Protect to you? No, it does not. He went for Protect with Gigalith, and I went for the Devastating Drake, predicting probably the Mew to come in to potentially eat another Earthquake, you know, because he lowered my speed with Rock Tomb. But that didn't happen, and holy shit, this Gigalith ate this freaking Z move. I think this was Dragon Claw, Z Dragon Claw, but you know, I was still at +1 attack, so you would think it would still take it out regardless of the Protect, but I guess not. I guess the only good thing about this is that it stalls out turns from the Sandstorm though. And here's where I decided to go for Dragon Claw just to finish out the Gigalith, but he ends up sacking the Rotom Wash instead. Which, I mean, I'll take it honestly. But my Dragonite is getting kind of weakened to the point where it's kind of useless in what it's going to do later, honestly. So I just decided to sack it right here and just go for E-Speed just to get as much damage as possible, because I still am at +1, and look at this damage that it does at +1 for a resisted hit. I figured take it because, yeah, he's going to go for Shadow Claw, and he's going to get withered down even further by Life Orb, which it allows it to only survive for 2 more turns. So this is where I decided to just send in Seismitoad and see if he tries to just go for Earthquake to get as much damage on Seismitoad as possible. But he's not going to do that. He's actually just going to switch out and go back into this thing, the Mew. And I go for Earth Power because I was thinking he'd stay in, no? Nah, but he goes in the Mew because obviously Mew is the thing that takes hits all the damn time. So here I think I decided to switch into, I think, Galvantula. I don't remember. Actually, no, it wasn't Galvantula. It was actually Muck. I went into Muck even if he has that Will-O-Wisp because, again, it can still eat hits from Mew even if it's burnt, honestly. And it can still knock on items off. And from where Excadrill is at, I think knocking off items is all that matters at this point anyway. But here what he ends up going for instead of Will-O-Wisp is actually going for the Whirlwind. And he actually ends up phasing me into Galvantula, which is actually really, really good for me because now I can get a free Bug Buzz off right here and do a lot of damage to anything he switches in. So right here is where I decide to, or here's where he's going to actually switch out. And I think he ends up switching into Zeraora. Yeah, I think he sends in Zeraora. And I think this Bug Buzz doesn't really do as much as I'd hope, honestly. Like, I was hoping it would do at least over half to this thing. But it doesn't, as you're going to see right here. It's not going to do over half. The rocks are still gone because because the Rotom Wash was able to get rid of them with the fog. So yeah, so this Bug Buzz does absolutely nothing. Now here he's gonna double on me again and go into the Gigalith. I actually did switch out because I was actually fearing the what's it called, the Fire Punch from the Zeraora. That was the reason why I even switched out on this thing the first time when I went for Volt Switch on Zeraora. I switched out because I didn't want to take a Fire Punch, because otherwise I would have probably just gone for the Bug Buzz for damage. But you know, I didn't want to lose Galvantula just yet because he can do damage to Mew. So here I send in Muck again, and here's where I decided to go for the knockoff, hoping I can take out this Gigalith, and thankfully I do. Only annoying thing is though that the turns for Sandstorm were resetted again, which means this damn Excadrill can just come back and do whatever the heck it wants again. But not really, because thankfully I was able to keep my Seismitoad relatively healthy to the point where I was actually able to, you know, just finally send it in right here, like just switch it in. And because this thing is Life Orb, I already know for a fact that it's gonna go down to two Life Orb hits. So yeah, as you can see, I just need one more. I just need him to go for one more attack, and if he just switches out, he's the Sandstorm's gonna go away, and he's not gonna be able to outspeed my Gallade that I still have in the back of my team. So here he's gonna go for Earthquake. He is gonna take out my Seismitoad, but my Seismitoad doesn't really do much to the rest of his team anyway. So I just figured just use this to fodder it against the Excadrill here, since this thing is Life Orb and it goes down to its Life Orb. So yeah, here he goes into Zeraora because I think this was a double down, so I kind of just had to choose what I wanted to go into, and I end up going into Galvantula, which I think is a bad switch in for me because, I mean, this thing could still have Fire Punch. This is why I switched into my Muck to see if he finally goes for the Fire Punch. and he will actually proc my Figgy Berry that I have on this muck. But what he ends up going for here is actually the Calm Mind, which is like, holy shit, I wasn't not expecting special attacking Zeraora. I know I saw Grass Knot earlier, but usually these Zeraoras tend to be mixed attackers as opposed to straight up special attackers, honestly. So Calm Minding Zeraora was something I wasn't expecting, but thankfully that one Calm Mind doesn't actually it wasn't enough to take my muck out with a Thunderbolt here. Thankfully I proc my Figgy Berry, and here's where I just go for the Poison Jab just to take this thing out, because thanks to the damage that it took from Sandstorm and the Bug Buzz from Galvantula earlier, I'm able to take it out with Poison Jab. So yeah, and my muck is actually well, it's only got a little bit of HP left, but only one that this guy has now is just the Mew, and I just need to go for a Recycle just to, you know, get my berry back and get a lot of my HP back. Now here, this Mew is finally going to go for the Will-O-Wisp on my muck, and I'm just going to knock off the item that it has first, so that way he doesn't have leftovers, this Mew. I think I was trying to knock off its leftovers earlier, but he never actually went for the Will-O-Wisp like I thought he would. He kept going for U-turn, so yeah, for the obvious reasons, but yeah. So anyways, here, this is another portion of the battle where I just, you know, speed it up, because again, this part just drags on for way too long. If this battle wasn't already as long as it is. But yeah, I go for Recycle here just to get my berry back, and he keeps going for U-turns, and I think he got a crit at some point around here, and I was just getting like hella annoyed with the fact that I was just taking too much damage from these U-turns. I go for a Rock Tomb here because I wanted to slow this Mew down so I can outspeed it with Muck, but you're gonna see here that it's not enough to outspeed it still, and I still have to try to get more damage off on this thing. So I go for another Recycle to keep my Muck healthy, because I don't want to lose my Muck this thing, because I don't think there's any reason for me to lose Muck at this rate. This part of the battle just dragged on for way too long though. Like, I was just trying to get the poison with this Poison Jab that I do here, just to freaking, like, I don't know, poison this thing. Here, there's the crit where he gets the U-turn, and this is where I go for the Poison Jab, hoping for the poison so that this thing can go down quicker. But here I just go for another Recycle. Here, at first I thought I outsped it, and I thought, oh, this is a speed tie, isn't it? But what he ends up going for here is the Whirlwind, which allows me to get phased into something that isn't freaking Muck right at this point, given that it's burned. And he actually phases me into Mega Gallade, which is perfect. And you're gonna see why right here, because even though this thing has Will-O-Wisp, I do have Taunt on this Gallade, so that this thing doesn't like set anything up or go for anything funny like he does right here with the Will-O-Wisp. And now here I just go for Swords Dance. Now here I just need to set up to just +2 to be able to 2-hit KO this thing and just end this battle already, because damn, this battle went on for way too long. Like, boy, this battle was like 47 turns, and I was like, bruh, did it really take that long? I think it was all thanks to those freaking turns of freaking just going for Defog and Stealth Rocks, honestly, though. But even then, it was still around 40 turns that passed during this battle, so. But yeah, anyways, I'm just going to finish off this Mew with Drain Punch, and that's going to be the whole game. We actually win this 4-0 despite the matchup disadvantage that I felt we had, which is actually kind of crazy, but I don't know, man. It was kind of crazy. I thought I was gonna get like straight up destroyed, and if I lost, it would have been somewhere around, or if I won, it would have been a lot narrower. But he actually, I was actually able to outplay my opponent, or at least I think I did. I don't know. Maybe this guy was doing something else or something that kept them a little bit disoriented. I don't know. But I was just surprised at the outcome of this battle, given that this team that I have doesn't really match up well with what he has. Because, dude, this team is way too busted. That how on earth can anyone possibly lose with this kind of team? I'm honestly surprised he even has a loss at all. But I don't know. Things just happen. I guess that's just Pokemon for you, or things that you don't expect just happen, honestly. But anyways, yeah. So that's gonna be the whole game, and thankfully we win another battle, which is actually nice, because I feel like as the season goes on further, I think it's gonna get a lot more tougher. Honestly, I think we're gonna face a lot more tougher opponents after that, if these weren't already. But yeah. But nonetheless, that's going to be the whole game. I think I said that several times. But yeah, thank you all for watching Week 4 of the IBL D-League. Stay tuned for Week 5 whenever that comes. But for now, just take it easy and have a good one.